Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West, Supportive Oracle Cards, Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Alright, let's go ahead with Sagittarius and see what do we have for you guys. Okay. Okay, so going into whatever the situation is, you're all about it. You got the Fool card. You're not expecting it to be, skipping in the rain or whatever you want to say. You don't expect it to be like a free ride or easy or without having some hiccups. You're not expecting it to be simple, but with the Fool card, you're going into it like, I feel like it may not be the easiest thing, but I can do this. I can make it through this. It won't be the worst thing in the world. Like, whatever you're looking to attain, it's kind of like putting a lot of work in to make a garden happen. Like, I can do this. I'll dig up this, I'll dig up that, I'll get the plants, I'll till it a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. You know what I mean? I'll pluck the weeds, I'll get some fruit. It'll be worth it. I'll put the energy in and it'll happen. It's not going to be like it's not just like a free ride, but you're like, what I need in front of me, what's in front of me, I can do that. I can do that. I just got to keep on it. I can do that. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling. Now, your first step into the situation, when I'm feeling the Fool with the Door of Value is what is coming next. I feel like you're putting in the effort. Like, no, I was not expecting a free ride. No, I wasn't expecting this to just fall in my lap and just happen the way I want it to. I was expecting to put in the effort, and you're like, and I want this, so I'm going to put in the effort. You're not afraid of the effort. You're not afraid of it at all. And you're going forward, and you're doing what needs to be done. Okay, so it seems a simple start, an easy start. This is what I want. This is what I need to do. All right, I'm going to step in and make it happen. But the Door to Value is also making me feel like the reason I'm doing it is because I feel like as long as I stay on point, I should have success. I don't see why there would be a problem with that. As long as I do what I need to do, it should just work out. Now, this is in the environment. Is that deceit or deception? Deceit. Well, same thing, I'm trying to pull in a positive energy, but it's like basically it's not. Whatever you think's going to happen here, either someone else has another idea about that and they're just really pulling the wool over your eyes the best they can. They're actively trying to. Or, and I knew when I gave this analogy of this stupid garden, I've done this where I've had this attitude towards a garden before, and then the blight hit in my area. And one day I remember, I swear to God, it was just one day I came out and everything was, it was just done. And I was just like, what happened? And I didn't understand. I was like, what did I do to make this happen? And a lot of people around me, they had the same problem. So that was many years ago. But it's almost like that's, if it's not person connected, there's something that's going to happen around this situation that's like, something's going to tank. This is not a complete ending, though, by the way. Because it's like, well, that was a quick reading. Okay, 4 minutes, we're done. No, something is not, like, whatever you're going into, there's another level of this you're not seeing at all. Now, if this is a person, there's deceit here. Like, I can't get around that. But they might not see it as if it's going to go bad for you or it's going to negatively impact you. The thing is, it is going to impact you. So, it's almost like when you start dating somebody and they're all about you and they seem to really like you, and then you find out that they have a kid, and one of the reasons they like you is because they think you're good with kids and you could help them raise this kid. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, I like kids, but I don't want to raise one. Thanks. It's kind of like that energy. Something like they have an ulterior motive. It could be ulterior motive. Okay, that might be part of it. We're going to keep going from that because I feel like you're going to get involved with this situation. And something in the environment is not what you expect at the very least. It's just not what you expect. You get involved with it. And I feel like you get trapped in it fairly quick. You get involved, you get right involved with it. You don't get very far down the line before you're like, oh, wait a minute. What? This is okay. And you've already put in some effort. And you've already like made something happen here. But you're like, this isn't exactly how I thought this was going to go. The Ace of Wands coming in with the Eight of Swords is telling me you get right involved. You jump right in. And you're kind of treading away in this water, like, I'm going to do this. And you're like, wait a minute, this is a lot colder than I thought this water was going to be. Wait a minute, do I want to keep doing this? Because you get hit with that first spot, and you're just kind of like, the Two of Pentacles shows up. It's like you have to answer the question, do I keep going? Or do I decide to do something different? And I'm getting whichever you choose, it's like a left or right path. It's like, I'm going down this road. If I go left, I go to that town. If I go to right, I go out of town. So am I going in town or out of town? It's like you can't do both. I can't go in town and out of town at the same time. And whatever place I end up with, if I'm in town, then I'm in town. If I'm out of town, then I'm way out of town. I think it's a whole different way of living here. Which am I going to choose? And whatever way I choose, I got to stick with it. So you have to decide, like, okay, now that I know the jig is up, whatever that is, now that I know that this is what's actually going on, I got into the water, I jumped in the water, and now that I'm like, ooh, it's a kind of cold, do I think I'll get used to it? Is that something I really want to put up with? Are you going to do this or not? I don't think you are. Really, good for you if that's how this is going. Because I see in the environment, something seems to be moving on. This was not what you expected it to be. You got involved with this thinking it was going to work out one certain way. I would put in the effort, but it was going to work out in a certain way. I was going to get a certain benefit from this. It's looking like, you know what, I jumped in the water. It's a lot colder than I thought. I'm not really comfortable. I could still swim around in it for a few hours, but am I going to really like that? And you're deciding, you know what, I feel like for most of you, you're going to be like, you know what, I don't think so. I don't think this is for me. Again, it's kind of like dating that person, then you find out why they really like you. And you're like, I mean, yeah, the kid's cool, but I'm not looking to date somebody so I can raise their kid. I'm not going to do that. No. So I'm getting the Eight of Cups is like, I think you're the cups. And I feel like they have to like realize that you're not into this. And I don't think this is going to work. They want you to keep going, but I feel like your energy is making it obvious. This is not what I thought this was. This is not what I signed up for. I don't really want to do this. And I'm getting like the acceptance on the other side, like you don't match this situation because this has gone completely differently than what you thought it was going to be. Putting in the effort, not a problem. But the outcome is not the same as what you thought it was. And you're like, I don't think this is for me. I think I need to know when it's best to call a situation for what it is and move on from it. There might be a hard conversation here, a difficult conversation where you have to tell this person, listen, I was all into it, but you held back some information. And that information makes a big impact. I'm not that far into this, and I'm realizing that information is not something I can really deal with. I can't do that. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to feel bad about changing my mind, because if you had given me that proper information to start with, I probably wouldn't have done this. So if you're upset that I'm changing my mind, you should have told, if you were honest with me, we wouldn't have had this problem. So I'm not going to feel bad for you, and I'm not going to have guilt over that. There might be a hard conversation. Like, listen, if you were honest with me, we wouldn't have got this far. You wouldn't have had to have done this way. I wouldn't even have tried. I wouldn't even have bothered. But just because you tried to trap me into this doesn't mean I'm going to stay with it. The other side is upset. Like, they have the broken heart. Like, I'm getting that they're really upset that they couldn't keep you. Whoever this is, whatever the situation is, they're upset that they couldn't keep you. But you did what was right for you, and in this situation, that's the right thing to do. You did what was right for you. You shouldn't be stuck in a situation you really don't want to be in. And again, I'm getting in the beginning, if this deceit wasn't here, like if they told you the truth, if they put it all out there on the table, you wouldn't have done this anyway. Just because they waited until they thought they had you kind of trapped in the situation You shouldn't feel bad about saying, hey, you know, if you told me this to begin with, I would have done this. But you know what? I'm still not going to do this. We're only so far down the situation, and I'm out. I'm not doing it. You did what was right for you, and that's good. When I'm getting caring connection, like you're caring for yourself, you're making the right decision. This is the right decision. I'm noticing this Page of Cups at the end for you. You might be wondering afterwards, like, should I have done that? Would that have worked out? Would it have been worth it? Do I really wish I did do it? I'm getting there's new things coming your way after this. When this is moved out of the way, something else is coming in quite quickly. Because you got this Page of Cups coming in for you, kind of like, I don't know, did I make the right choice? I seem to have a lot of time on my hands all of a sudden is what I'm feeling, which seems to be rare for a Sagittarius, but hey, sometimes it happens, right? Storm warning is coming, the solar plexus chakra, but the abundance is your outcome after that. So it's like, this situation is going to pass on, it's going to go away. You're going to kind of question yourself, should I have really walked away from that for a little while? I'm getting that yes, you needed to, because you need to have all your energy available for the storm warning. Whatever it is that's coming in next, you're going to have to be completely on point with it. That's what I'm getting for the solar plexus. Like, you're going to have to be on point for what you need to do and what your heart is telling you to do. You have to be like having that loyalty to yourself. Like, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to handle this. Having a secondary issue that you don't really want to be a part of would kind of damage that. So they're like, yeah, that kind of has to be moved out of your way so you can handle this next situation better, because you need to have all hands on deck for that. That next situation is a rough one coming up after this, just to be fair. It's the storm warning, you know, not for nothing. But it's a situation that you will get an outcome that you really will be pleased with. I kind of see Sagittarius that way. Like, they're not afraid of a little bit of work, as long as it, you know, works out. Like, all that effort they put into something did go to something. It did make sense. You know what I mean? It's like I put in a lot of effort and I got a lot out of it. Okay, that's fine. So the final, because I feel like we're going into 3 steps. It's like the first thing is you're like, I'm not going to do that. The second thing is like the storm warning, and then the third thing is your final, the final abundance you're looking for. So there is a final positive ending to this. It just seems like it's a bit out there. So it's almost like you have to get rid of this situation so the next situation you can handle better. That way you get the abundance you really do want. All right, I think we're good before I try to describe it a third time through. All right, thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.